Yeah, the movie that Jake's making us watch today, the movie that you're making me watch, that movie you're making me watch today is The Cop, The Gangster, and The Devil.
The Gangster, the Cop, the Devil.
Does the order matter?
The order kind of matters if you're talking about the movie specifically, but I guess not necessarily.
love this movie.
And you meet them
Exact
all in
title.
reverse. Did you know that?
We meet
the
the
killer, then
first?
the cop, then the gangster.
The Devil. We meet the Devil first.
Yeah, the Devil is more referred to as just the killer,
But he is,
yeah.
he would be the title character Devil in the
Yes,
title.
yeah, he's referred to as.
He was a creepy guy.
They even
Creepy fucking guy.
I remember there's a point in the movie where they literally say like the dialogue is,
Yeah.
"Ha, a cop and a gangster team up to kill the devil. That's very interesting." And I'm like, I don't think I caught that the first time I watched it. I just thought that was like a funny line of dialogue. I'm like, all right, he just described the movie right there. That's cool.
Does it make it better because it's in a different language, like exposition like that?
I think it is, because I think we've talked about this with like Koreans and other foreign films. Is like I feel like the dialogue isn't always exact, like direct translation. It's just kind of translated to English for like digestible reasons. So I don't know if it's like word for word always.
You're not getting the nuances and the meanings and in like undertones of language when you're just reading subtitles.
That's why he kind of relies on the actor to be a good performer too, so you can kind of read more into it when you're watching it. You know,
Yeah,
so you can
right.
see the
So
expressions and
tone.
the tone of the other people reaction and all that. Like,
Yeah.
it's
But
fun.
mentally, you kind of just absorb what they're meaning to say, what they kind of mean.
I found
think.
that I watched this in a couple of sittings a couple of times, and I found that I just didn't even need the sound on, really. In fact, the sound off kind of made me rather than like hearing the language and then reading, I was just watching and reading, and in my head, you almost put it together like they're speaking English. Like it's like I just really, when you're watching it muted or even just really low, it's like you hear it, and in my head, maybe it was just me. I was just like, there's points where it almost felt like I was watching English. I was just reading subtitles.
Well, that's just
That might
good.
be weird.
That's just good visual storytelling,
Yeah,
right?
GVST.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like,
That was-
I haven't done that, but I've thought about that with like certain foreign films. I'm like, I wonder if I watch this without subtitles, like how much would I pick up? How much would I get? And I think if it's like a really well done, especially visually, like you'll get a lot out of it.
This movie was visually really, really cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the strong point of this
Yeah.
movie is the visuals. It's like really, really good. Him and the acting of the gangster.
Dong.
Ma Dong-suk
Ma Dong-suk
is-
Ma
is
Dong-suk,
he's
a
his
badass.
character was
He's
fucking awesome.
he's
man.
great, and he's probably the only good actor in the movie.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the killer was pretty good. He was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
He reminded me. I know you guys hate him for some reason, but he reminded me of like a Dario Argento killer. Super feminine, kind of
Who hates Dario
creeping
Argento?
around. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
even know who that
He
is.
He's really. He reminded
You
me
hate
of that.
Dario Argento?
No, I don't even know who Dario Argento is.
I've never heard
He
of him.
doesn't like movies. He's not into the classics.
I don't know. I've never seen. A
What is
movie.
that like? Is that like a old? Never mind. I can't even think of anything funny. I'm not funny.
Is that a chick from the Golden Girls? Dario?
No, she
Daria?
just died. That's Betty White.
Oh my bad.
R.I.P.
Dude,
Betty
Come
White.
on,
My bad.
R.I.P.
get your shit together.
Zed.
So what's your word?
What's your word for The Gangster, the Cop, and the Devil, directed by?
Won-Tae Lee, I think is his name.
Won-Tae Lee.
I think that's right.
Won-Tae Lee.
Do you have a word?
This is gonna be funny. Honestly, it's just a very simple fun. This was a fun movie. Throwing it back to a simple Schwartz word.
I got two words.
What you got?
First word,
Schwartz.
improbable. Second word, slick.
It was based on a true story, man.
That's what they say.
Improbable?
Why is it improbable?
Yeah.
Because
Cops go to like psychics to
sure, but
answer questions.
it's the way that they solved their problems was by like fighting and then being like, okay, God, fine, we're good now. You know what I mean? It's kind of cartoonish
That's
in
true,
that way.
and that-
Slightly-
But that's the
slightly
only thing.
cartoonish.
Listen.
Slightly
What did I say when we were
cartoonish.
watching this movie? What did it remind me of? It kind of reminded me of The Departed a little bit. It has the same vibe as like The Departed and how like it mixed cops and bad guys and people were helping each other out and people were at alliances. But this, I think if we were watching this in English, maybe it would have been just as good because this was a great movie. But like you said, there's something lost in the translation of it. But I loved the gangster character. He was one of the most fun characters I've seen in a movie, honestly.
Right.
He was really cool.
And
really
we
cool.
already saw him in Train to Busan, and I think that was the
Badass.
agreement there too. Like he was
was
the best part of.
badass.
Anthony goes, "Is this
Train
the
to
guy
Busan.
from Busan?" I was like, "Yeah."
Well, he was
Yeah,
going to
fuck,
Busan.
You're fucking in.
Yeah, remember though? We were watching this. Is this
Yeah.
the guy from Busan?
Yeah, I was right.
Once you see him, you're in. He was in the
I don't think I
Eternals
screamed it like that,
2
did I?
this year, and that movie was kind of doo but
didn't see that.
it was like cool to see him. He goes
Isn't
by
he in,
he goes by Don Lee now. That's sort of his like new like
I'm into that.
like American slang because I think maybe like we obviously we say dong suck a lot. So Brad doesn't want to go by dong suck. He wants to be Don Lee.
For sure. Like an agent was like, "Listen, my dong suck.
Yeah, that's not gonna go well.
You're going to America.
Crossing over genres.
Maybe hey, you don't have to.
We all know how Americans are. You should probably do it.
You don't have to, but for sure, everyone's gonna be thinking about dicks when they say your name.
Anthony, did you have a word? Did we get there?
I didn't get a word.
My word was. I did have a word. Great. Brutal is a good word for it.
The fighting was pretty sick.
Beautiful.
Like, really sick
Right.
fighting. Really sick fighting.
That's why I figured you guys would like this because I
It's
know
good.
you guys
I dig it.
like your
I
action
liked it.
movies. You like we all like gangster movies. We like cop movies sometimes.
It's like the Korean Scorsese.
Yeah. This
It reminded me of Departed.
yeah. He even reminded me of like John McClane a little bit, and his just like he doesn't really give a fuck attitude.
Yeah,
cop.
he was kind of
And, like
Maverick, Maverick guy.
Yeah, his like boss was like, "Nah, I don't know about this one, John or Jung," and he's just like, "Nah, dog."
Over the top.
That's fair. Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say.
like most action films.
Yeah.
And I rarely pick action movies, so. But of course, I had to
You done good.
make the little caveat with a fucking Korean
ma
action,
done good, dude.
With a
There
Korean
were a
action
few
film.
times in the movie where I thought people died, but they didn't. From things, especially at the end when he gets hit by the car. What's his name? I was
yeah.
like, oh, he's done. And then he was
yeah.
almost dead. I was like, oh, okay, cool. he's
Motherfucker can't die.
He was
We've
crazy.
seen him unless he gets attacked by like 50 zombies.
Yeah.
Then he's fucked. We've seen that. We've
The
witnessed
killer
it.
almost had him.
He's a
But,
fucking,
yeah, but he didn't.
stocky dude.
Oh,
man.
you're talking like an actual story. I remember that.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah.
In
Madong.
Yeah, Madong. In zombie world, he's dead.
All right, what happens in this movie, Jay?
All right, so this
How do we
movie,
meet Madong? That's the best part.
Right. Yeah. All right.
This
We'll,
movie?
we'll get
Yeah,
there
yeah.
in just a few minutes.
Okay, my bad.
All right. The movie opens with a car just kind of cruising through the streets. I think the streets look dope. This immediately made me think of you, Schwartz, because I know how you like your neons and your whatnot, and your winding refns and your whatnot.
All that
And-
whatnot.
Yeah, all that whatnot. It's kind of reminded me of that look when he's just cruising through the streets of Seoul, because I guess Seoul probably looks like that.
Yeah.
So this car.
You guys ever been to Korea?
I have
Nope.
not. No.
You ever been to Asia?
Never
Nah,
been to Asia.
not at all.
Never.
Asia's the one con. Well, no, not the one, but one of the cons I haven't been to.
Continue.
All right. So this car gets rear-ended, and after the car gets rear-ended, it kind of first it kind of veers off out of the city into like a little parking lot area. This car gets rear-ended. Kind of typical confrontation where the driver gets out, starts taking pictures of the car, and then the car that rear-ends him, this dude gets out and is kind of a little standoffish, a little rude to him, and then suddenly the dude turns around and the guy who rear-ends him just starts stabbing him. So the rear-ender
Prison
stabs the
style.
drive to death, stabs this other driver to death.
Jesus.
And that's kind of just straight up how it opens, kind of cold open with that.
Yeah. Which is pretty crazy.
It was very like
It was pretty
bloody.
violent. The,
Yeah,
the
very-
knife,
very violent,
the knife,
very
the knife
quick.
sounds were pretty fucked up. You know what I
Right.
mean? You were feeling it.
right,
Very bloody.
very bloody.
Yeah, dude, that's what I do like about South Korean films is that when they go hard, they go hard. Like they're bloody, they're graphic.
You ever
they're
see a North Korean film?
not
I don't think we're allowed
hear
to
good
watch
things, but
Do they
never seen
make
one.
North Korea's got to have a
Only
cinema,
propaganda.
Imagine he remade Scarface with him, the whole movie.
and it
Kim
was
Jong-un?
great.
I mean, I would watch that.
And he's a phenomenal actor.
You want to play rough? Okay.
He has a perfect
But he does
accent.
it as a Cuban man.
He has a perfect accent.
plays a
He
Cuban
plays
guy?
the accent perfectly.
Yeah, the Cuban accent.
Who?
Kim Jong Un.
Fly, fly.
Oh,
If he remade Scarface, because he can only be the
He like
person
goes
in the movie.
he goes super method, like loses weight,
He invited Al Pacino and only Al Pacino to come watch this
starts
movie,
doing
and
a
he
lot
went.
of cocaine,
That's a movie.
and Al
That's the
Pacino goes.
sequel to fucking The Interview. Is Al Pacino decides to go watch
Al Pacino goes.
the remake of Scarface.
It like he
and
sits
brings
down.
Dave
He sits
Schuyler.
down in the theater. The theater goes. It's close up on him. Theater goes black. We hear just a couple like iconic scenes. The lights come back up, and Pacino's crying.
So good. Okay,
That's how that movie ends.
right.
so go ahead. Guy kills the other guy.
Yeah, and then at the very end, Spielberg directs the shootout, and then that's
Oh.
Yes.
Who directed Scarface? Go.
Spielberg.
De Palma. except the shootout.
The shootout, the best part.
So he wasn't wrong because
Sure,
kind
okay.
of directed it.
Who else directed?
Uncredited.
Scarface, go. All right, how about this? Who wrote it?
Oh, that's easy. But
Kim
what do
Jong-un.
you think?
Oliver Stone.
What?
It's actually a Stephen King novel.
I did
No,
not.
it's not. But that'd be awesome if it was.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
Oliver
Can we
Stone
get a
wrote
fact check
couple
on that?
screenplays
I kind of
before.
want to. I almost want to do a fun
Fact check?
Fact check it.
A fun fact check.
Oliver
FF
Stone
FFC?
wrote a few screenplays to interact before he became a director. Some big ones. He won an Oscar for writing a screenplay before he directed a movie.
And they were?
Scarface. Patton, I think, is the one he won the Oscar for. I'm not sure about that though. Let me look. I'll look that up.
Look it up.
Looking it up.
All right, so we've met the killer,
The devil.
the devil, as the title would refer to him as. And after that, we meet the cop. The cop is next. He's driving through the city. They're talking about they're on their way to the crime scene, and the crime scene that we don't know this yet, but the crime scene is the crime scene that we just talked about, is the murder of this random guy. And but as he's going through the city, he sees these. He just kind of pulls over. He's like, "Wait a second!" And he pulls up, and then like gets out. There's these dudes in suits. They're apparently some sort of gangsters, and he just kind of like disregards them, slaps a couple guys in the face as he just walks through into this building. He's like, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Stop a cop?" And we realize like there's like an illegal sort of gambling ring going on. The cop's not in on it.
He's not, but he's not? I thought he was.
I don't think so.
we were supposed to think he was.
The good cop?
No, he just kind of goes there to confront the gangster, Ma Dong.
Oh.
Yeah, he just goes there kind of.
I thought like when he was going down there, he was the way he was acting. I thought he was like knew what was up. Maybe he was like, but no, he wasn't. He's the good guy. He's
definitely.
There
the
were
good guy.
cops in on it. He
Yeah.
was not one of them.
I believe so.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, some of the B plot stuff, I'm a little like. There was like a lot of random little under things that weren't as interesting as the main plot. So like some sort of stuff diverted me a little bit.
At a certain point, the Madong was talking to what seemed to be like the chief of police, right? When the good cop was coming in, and he was like, "One of your fucking cops is here."
Yeah, that was the chief.
That was so like he was in cahoots with the police.
That's right. Yeah, he had connections.
There was corruption.
There was,
but that guy was super good.
Yeah,
that's kind of the
he
only
just
way
wanted to
things
stop him.
work, though. You got to kind of have alliances in the right places. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it doesn't work. At least that's what movies tell us.
Yeah,
have come to tell us. Like there's
move,
good guys that are in cahoots with bad guys because it makes like a truce almost of the level doesn't escalate to everyone dying. You know.
Kind of a yin and a yang, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Are you the yin or are you the yang?
I don't know. You're a good guy, you're a bad guy. I can be the opposite.
What are you?
I can be either one.
I think we all have the capability to be either one.
Light of the dark.
Hold on, before we go any further, I want to clarify this Oliver Stone stuff.
All right.
So the movies that he wrote before he was a director were Midnight Express, Conan the Barbarian, Scarface, and Year of the Dragon. The movie that he won an Oscar for was Midnight Express as a writer before he became a director.
Which one's Midnight Express?
I've never seen it. I honestly never even fucking heard of it.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I
don't know what it's about. But I'm just saying, Oliver Stone came up as a writer, and he definitely wrote Scarface.
All right, yeah. The IMDb says that is true, so
So does Google.
we have to believe it.
Yeah.
I still don't believe it. I'm gonna go ahead and still call you a liar.
And he probably like
What
planted.
else
He
is
probably
new?
like
I-
he probably went in and edited all
put
this
it-
shit before we recorded this. He took
Is this
his time.
fake? Is this a fake website I'm on?
Probably.
I hacked your computers and downloaded fake shit on there.
Dude got fake web on it. Anyway, go ahead.
Damn.
Dark
dog.
web, Schwartz. That's why we call him that.
So that basically, that little crime ring leads us
DWS.
to meet the gangster, Ma Dong. And this dude is like, we think he's just practicing boxing.
Oh, this was sick.
We just think he's working out. We think this is his gym. But it's like, they're like, oh, that cop is here. And then he kind of like signals to a dude to like cut this bag down.
Would say he's hitting a punching bag. He's beating the shit out of a punching bag. Like
Beating a
he's
punching bag.
So what Jake's thing, I heard he was practicing boxing. Was
practicing
him
boxing.
hitting a punching
He's
bag?
punching. He's
brutally like beating the shit out of it.
and there's everyone's around him watching him.
Yeah, like looking at him like, oh, this guy. And I was like, why are they just watching him like that? Actually, and then
he opens the bag once he cuts it down.
Yeah.
And it's just this dude in there all
tied
bloody
up.
and beat up.
He's fucking up.
And I said it out loud, huh? I've never seen that before. That was pretty sick. And then somebody, it might have been you. What did you say?
I said it was in Die Another Day. It's James Bond movie.
James Bond movie, which I don't remember.
was it?
I don't remember that. But that's
I never
cool.
saw that.
Who was the villain in that one? Was it the bald guy with the fucking Die Another Day? Who was the Bond girl in that one?
Which one was that?
Stand
That's a Pierce Brosnan one.
by-
Okay,
Yes.
that sounds right.
I think it's the second or third one. I think Pierce Brosnan made 3. And I think it's the second one. He did GoldenEye, Die Another Day, Tomorrow Never Dies. That might be it.
Yeah, here I
Been
found
anyone
the
else
scene.
since him and
Just him and Daniel
Craig
Yeah.
in the last like 20 years?
Yeah, Robert Pattinson is going to be the new one. So,
Is he?
Bond girl in Die Another Day. Do you remember?
No, which one is she? Actress, not the character.
Denise Richards,
No.
Who is she?
Halle Berry.
Ha ha, Miss Berry.
Okay, who was the villain?
It's a North Korean villain
Oh yeah, I do remember that dude.
whose face gets blown up, and then he gets his
Yeah.
face
Who's the actor?
switched.
Am I
Rick
wrong? So-
Yoon,
Okay. Who directed that one?
Lee Tamori,
Okay.
Tamahori.
Lee Tamahori.
Lee
Yeah, he's directed a
Tamahori.
few things I've heard of. A few action films in the 90s.
56% on Rotten Tomatoes. Anyway,
Oh,
Anyway,
Die
what were we
Another
talking about that for?
that has the punching bag scene.
Oh, the punching bag, yeah, which was awesome. That was sick.
Yeah,
That was
I-
really
yeah, I
cool.
thought that was
That was
dope.
super cool. I was like,
Yeah.
all right.
Because you think he's already badass. And
Yeah.
then it just kicks up a whole notch of badassery.
Yeah.
So you're just like, oh shit, this guy's gangster.
And
as fuck.
through this whole movie, this dude kicks ass, and he
Oh, yeah.
gets his ass kicked and acts like he's fine, like he's just a badass.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty much just beating people up the whole movie.
Yeah.
But he's still very likable somehow. Like I don't know, he just comes off like a fun guy.
Okay.
So we got our 3 characters. We got we got a killer, we got a cop who doesn't really like give a fuck, and then we got a gangster who's just a complete badass.
Yeah.
So we have a gangster, a cop, and
A devil.
copy.
Yeah. He's just this evil killer.
A devil.
Yeah.
I like that this guy was really
We
just
got
a
the devil.
bad guy. He's like an evil dude. Like he enjoys
Yeah.
it. Like he's really just.
And there wasn't really a
being
lot of
bad.
other than like there was a connection with his like mother. Like I don't really remember them going into like much of a
Why
backstory.
he did it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there wasn't
me
much
neither.
motive. He just
He
was,
liked it. He thought it was fun.
He just was fucked up.
Yeah. What I like about it too is that like it took 2 potential bad guys because you can consider Dong a bad guy technically. He's killing people. He's running illegal things, but he's like Tony Soprano kind of guy. You're like, you like this guy. He's funny. He's charming. He's doing stuff that makes you laugh. You know what I mean? So
You like him.
he is a bad guy though. You know what I mean? So it's like there's 2 levels of it. You know what I mean? It shows like who a real bad guy
He's the
is. A person who like
anti-hero.
has to kill people because he enjoys it, and the guy who just kind of he has a job that not a lot of people could or want to do.
Right.
He's messing with the lesser of 2 evils.
He's still killing people though.
Yeah.
He's still killing
He
people.
is still killing people.
So
But
it's
that's
like-
why
Just doing it at random.
that's why the movie ends in so many ways, but
Sure.
that's why
That's what
that's
kind of
that's what the cop's whole point was, and he says it over and over again. He's like, in the end, I'm putting you away.
He does,
Don't
yeah,
make this
yeah.
think we're fucking friends.
Yeah, yeah.
He says that over and over.
They used each other, I think, equally because Dong definitely got a lot out of it, and in the end, he ends up.
Everyone
kind
kind of got what they
kinda
needed.
got what they
Everyone
wanted.
kinda-
Yeah,
he
everyone
he
did.
got
Yeah.
he went in jail. It just so happened that is what he wanted.
Yeah. All right.
Oop, spoiler.
Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, just slow down. guys.
Slow down, dude.
Slow down.
Anthony's over here fucking talking about the end, the last scene, literally the last frame.
All right, so we
I
got
didn't
it.
do that until you just said it.
We only have our title characters thus far.
3 of them.
3 of them.
They're
the
the only
3
ones that
title
matter.
characters.
You know what? This movie sucked.
I knew you were
So is that a rip? is that a rip on Good the Bad? Not a
if
rip.
we had
Is that
if we had T-shirts, it would just say this movie sucked.
that would be
Anthony.
awesome. What was I gonna say? That whole devil, the cop, the gangster thing. That's gonna be an ugly thing right there. I didn't even realize it until the end in the credits
Oh,
when
yeah.
they had like the devil in his face. I was like, oh yeah, it's so obvious. Why didn't I think
Yeah,
of that?
very much so. Very much
Fuck.
so.
But you didn't.
And
know
then
he was
there's
a devil?
another movie
No,
actually
like the whole
done.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly though. Cop, devil. I was like, oh, that's what it was. They just took it off that. You know?
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't know for some
Yeah.
reason.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
took till the end for me to see that.
Yeah. You know what it took till the end for me to know?
What?
That it was Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder. Not until the end.
Really?
Yeah, until I saw
knew
the
it, I
end
knew
credits.
it before I saw it. So yeah.
I
it's
would have
hard-
just known
hard
by
to
looking
say.
at him and
In the
hearing him.
credits.
I don't
I
know.
didn't even
I
think
don't
about
know.
it. I was like, this guy, whoever that guy is hilarious. And then in the end, I think while he was dancing, I was like, is that fucking... And then it said Tom Cruise. I was like, that was Tom Cruise the whole time? That's insane.
He was amazing.
Because I'm sure I would have had to have been like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, who is this guy?
Yeah,
The
I
whole
didn't.
time.
I didn't even think about it. It's great. I love that movie.
Matthew McConaughey in that movie, man.
He's good too.
Yeah.
They're all good.
God.
Tugger Nuts is here for the YOU.
Hey, Juggernuts, I'm on the TiVo mission for the
On the
YOU.
TiVo mission for the YOU. He saves the whole day with his TiVo.
He does.
Saves the whole movie
He
with his
does.
TiVo. Have you seen that movie?
What-
Tropic
what-
Thunder?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
All right,
movie.
back to this
Action
movie.
packed.
All right.
Back to this
In the
movie.
game.
Okay, so thus far we only have met our title characters, and here's how they come together. As after we meet these guys, the cop goes to the crime scene, which was made by the killer or the devil, as we'll call him the killer for sake of ease.
Don't call him the title name, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
So
we
the
can
cop
call him
goes
the
to the
devil.
devil's crime scene, and he starts noticing that it resembles other patterns of other murders that have happened in the area. So what
Gracias.
our cop starts to suspect is that this could be the act of a serial killer. And of course his cops or his bosses, the boss cops, are like, nah, that's crazy. We don't have serial killers out here. This is South Korea. We're nice, peaceful people.
Yeah. I think he says, this ain't America, or this ain't the United
That's
States.
right. That's right. This ain't the United States, and like, there's something about also like guns aren't legal in South Korea. So like,
Really?
when murders happen, they're pretty gruesome because they're like people are getting stabbed to death. People aren't just getting shot and kind of like left for dead. They're getting fucking stabbed. So like when murders happen,
what they
it's
need
like
to
it's
do?
taken very like
Outlaw knives.
not taken lightly. Right. Right. Yeah. Well, then how will you chop your broccoli?
With your hand.
All right, fine.
Get into karate.
I just break
idiot.
it apart. Yeah, I just break it apart with my fingers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like my broccoli a little smaller, florets.
It's fine. Yeah, got it chopped up.
Floret.
Neither here nor there.
So
Big broccoli guy.
after the cop starts
BBG.
suspecting a serial killer, we cut to another scene where the gangster's doing gangster shit. He beats up some guy, throws his teeth in like some liquor.
Oh, that's
makes
one of
him
my
drink
favorite
it.
scenes.
Like
Yeah, so he
I
has
don't
like,
remember exactly what
so
the
he was
story
talking. I
but-
don't remember who he was talking to, but it was definitely somebody like underneath him, and or by the end of this conversation,
yeah,
it certainly seemed that way. But there, he had two of his cronies, the Ma Dong's guys. They were around, and they were just talking shit. They were like yelling at each other, and the guy was like, "This is how your fucking guy talks to me. Like, show some respect." And my dog was like, "Oh, you want to see some fucking respect?" And he fucking slaps it. He slapped. My God.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
imagine being slapped by that
He
guy?
was telling the guys like,
You know those like
he was "Shut
Russian
up, you-"
videos where they're
Yeah.
slapping each other? My dong would be fucking
He's like,
good
I
at
told you to just shut up. And he just bam, bam,
Yeah.
bam. And you go,
And then-
is that how you want to smack me?
I was like, yeah,
sometimes?"
do you ever feel like smacking me like that sometimes? And then, but he hit someone else at a table. I think it was the second time he was
Dude,
slapping
that
somebody.
slap scene was fucking
He
crazy.
slaps hard.
Yeah, he does. That dude was a badass, man. That
He's
dude
buff
could be in
as-
any
he's
Scorsese movie
scary.
and still be just as cool.
Right.
Like that was a good character. That's my
was-
favorite character of Madong.
I was afraid. What's his?
What's his American name?
Don Lee.
Don
Lee.
Lee.
Let's
Don Lee.
call
That's
him
my
Don
favorite
Lee.
Don Lee character.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm saying my dong a lot.
Yeah, no, it's respectful. Call him what he wants to be called.
Dong Lee. Yeah, we don't need a dead name Dong Lee,
No,
dude.
man.
We don't need to shame Dong Lee's new name. Do we know
Just
his
Don-
pronoun?
Don Lee.
Am I
Not
calling him
Dong.
Dong? Am I saying Dong?
There was a little G in there. I still heard a G.
Don Lee, number one. That's like Don Johnson and Bruce Lee put together, which is the dopest name you could have chosen for yourself. What were we talking about?
So after that scene where
Yeah.
he just is more proof of him being a badass,
I feel like I had more to say.
he takes a drive home. He goes home, but on his drive home, he gets rear-ended by the devil.
Yep. Which
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
yeah.
devil's MO. That's how he's catching people.
Yeah, he rear-ends him in little secluded areas and then stabs him. And it's interesting because when he gets out of the car, he wasn't like the first guy. He wasn't like taking pictures trying to figure out. He's just like, all right, no, we're good.
Yeah, he said,
You can go.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
I think that's probably like part of the MO too because he just still taps. They're never like big fender benders, never a lot of damage. So like people don't even
Wait,
like
go
realize.
back. Stand by.
their
So after he
accident.
slapped that guy, no, rewind. He fucking looked at the other guy, and he was like, and the other guy was like, all right, I'll get a slap too, and like went out like this, like put his face out, like go ahead, slap me. And instead of slapping him, he grabs his head, with his
Oh, yeah,
bare
he pulls the
hands,
teeth out.
pulls
Oh,
two
that's
teeth
right.
out of his
Yeah.
fucking face.
Yeah.
Rips him out, throws him in a shot glass, pours the guy a drink that he's talking to that was saying he was talking shit, whatever it was, and he drank it. And they continue their conversation.
Yeah.
That was insane.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That like kind of showed you just like how far this movie was gonna take.
and
you,
how
you know what I mean?
what a grip that guy has with
No,
like
he
three
was
fingers.
awesome. He was awesome.
Can you imagine?
He was awesome.
You think you could rip a tooth out with just your fingers?
No,
Someone else's tooth?
definitely not.
Uh-uh.
No.
Let me try.
Oh,
Let me
no.
try.
Let's let him try.
Oh, why are you at?
I was really doing it.
So then, okay, so they have that conversation. Can't really remember what it was about. But then he drives home.
Yeah, he tells his dudes, he's like, I'm going home. They're like,
Yeah.
come with. He's like, no, I'm going by myself.
Yeah.
And then right there, I knew I was like,
He's driving
he's gonna
home.
get to dap.
And then he gets a little tappy tap from
Yeah.
the serial killer.
Yep.
What's cool though is that another thing we were talking about, like the contrast between the two people is that dude, the gangster, dude who just did what he did with the teeth, brutal. When this dude seemed harmless, he was just like, "You're good. I'm gonna go home." He could have done gangster shit because he was pissed off. He's just like, "Dude, you're good. Get the fuck out of here. You just go home." You know what I mean? And then this guy's like, "This fucking pussy." And he starts stabbing this motherfucker.
Yeah, we see the gangster has a heart, and we see it
Yeah.
later when like there's the interaction with the little girl
Yeah.
and all that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Tony Soprano, I think is a good. That's a good
Yeah.
comparison.
Yeah.
Comparison.
For sure.
Like he does what he has to do for like the sake of his like business reputation, all that.
Yeah.
But he's still like
He-
seemingly a
Gangster's
good dude.
image is very
Yeah.
important. Somebody says that.
Yes, I believe it.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah. So,
So-
So he gets
anyway,
stabbed?
he
They're
gets,
getting
he gets
there in a
attacked by
fight.
the guy either way.
Oh, they get this
and
sick
they
fight.
great fight
Sick
scene.
fight.
Good fight scene.
Yeah. It's awesome because it's under the bridge and like the lights are shining
It's
down.
raining.
It's raining. Yeah, that was a sick fight.
Yeah, but and then at some point, like I think the killer realizes he's like overpowered,
Yeah.
so he just runs back to his car and kind of runs
The
him over.
killer keeps going and going until he finally takes a knife from him and then he stabs the killer.
right,
Yeah.
He stabs him and then he that's when the killer's like, "Ah, fuck, I gotta get the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
But I mean, up until that point, it's amazing how even after seeing him and fighting him, he was still going after him.
He's
He's
a
like,
fucking
"Fuck
freak,
this guy."
dude.
He's just a psycho.
Yeah, he's a
he has
psychopath.
no like. He's like they were saying that too. It's like he doesn't care who he goes after.
He has no
Usually
MO,
usually
yeah.
they're going after
Well,
old
his MO
ladies
is
and
what
little
he does.
girls,
Yeah.
people that aren't gonna fight back. But this guy, he's going after fucking
Gangsters.
Yeah,
Mabasses.
you know who he was messing with.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
No.
Yeah.
He just wants to kill.
Like even when keep going, I won't do anything else. But go ahead. I was
And-
gonna say
and
talk
then
some
in
about
the
a later
end-
scene, but keep going.
In the end. All right, so he gets away, and I think a good point, something you kind of mentioned, is like the fact that he has the knife.
Yeah.
That kind of comes into play later.
Don has the knife.
Yeah, Dawn,
he kept it.
Yeah, the gangster has the killer's knife, but he gets hit by a car, and he goes to the hospital. And then how does the cop find out about the gangster getting almost? I forgot what happened there.
It
But
just
somehow-
trickles through
he
after
gets
like we
information.
and this is after like a week or so. I feel like this is later too. This isn't because don't we see? Didn't he lose the knife?
No, he
When did the knife get lost?
it never gets lost. He uses it to kill like a gangster rival to kind of like convolute the,
Oh yeah, he tells his
the-
main guy to go
yeah.
kill his rival.
and that fucks up the cops.
and then
trail to,
what
like,
does that
try to
guy
find
throw
him.
the knife out to the side of the road? Because remember, it was like the knife somebody threw the knife out on the side of the road, and it was there for a minute. It was there for a while because it showed like changing of seasons on it.
I don't remember that.
I mean, either.
And then I can't remember who finds it after that. I think the gangsters find it again. You don't remember that?
Don't remember that at all.
Ugh.
Change of season. I don't.
A lot
think,
of
I don't-
things
it
happen in
didn't
this
seem-
movie,
seemed
man.
Like
This is
a
very,
lot of
very,
time went by.
very. Either way, keep going.
Either way,
Knife. Anyway, he's got
the
the
knife.
gangster's got the knife that this dude tried to kill him with, and he probably killed other people with.
Yes.
Yeah.
And eventually this leads us to the gangster and the cop coming together. And we see that like the cop is searching for this killer. this gangster now has motive for revenge because this guy
But
just
doesn't
got
the cop put
attacked.
together that the killer was probably the one who stabbed him? That was a thing too.
Yeah.
Cop's like, bro, this
Due
dude
to
I'm
the
after
yeah,
is
due
the
to the
same dude who
circumstances,
fucking stabbed you. You know what I mean?
Yep. Car accident,
So they
stab
had,
victim.
they had the same mission, kind
He
of.
put it together. And his cops think it was just like a rival gang member.
Yeah.
But Madong was like, nah, this wasn't a gangster. And
Yeah.
I don't know if he tells the cop that ever, but they realize they're looking for the same guy, essentially.
Yeah.
And so they team up. And it's a cool little scene where they team up because they're kind of just both like reluctantly doing it.
They kind of put it together because they're like, this wasn't a rival gangster that came after you,
Right.
so and he didn't know who you were, so it had to be like that. I feel like that's just it was just that simple. They're like,
Right.
They exhausted like all their avenues. This dude's been searching, and even they search. Remember the gangsters search.
but also it's only this guy's one search. It's not like the whole police department thinks he's crazy.
That too. But this dude's pretty fucking gung ho. Like it's your John McClane thing right there. He's all about doing what he's got to do. He's got to do it. How he's gonna do it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? He ain't waiting on nobody.
Yeah.
Ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
Madong. Go ahead, Madong.
So yeah, that's the main plot point of the main how they meet up, why it all kind of comes together. That's where the line is in the movie. He's like, "Ha, a gangster and a cop coming together to stop the devil." That's very interesting. I remember when I read
He
that. I'm
said
like,
that? I didn't even pick up on it.
I didn't pick up on it the first time. I saw it like probably like a year or so ago. And this time I just remember reading that exact.
Yeah, nah, that's what he
I
says.
was like, damn, that's pretty funny. How that,
But it is what it is.
That's very interesting. Like,
This is a new movie too. This is 2019, right?
it's 2019.
Yeah, this is a newer movie.
But again, that's going back to like our conversation about like it's probably just sort of like that's not exactly what he said, but that's how it translated. So
Yeah. I mean, it may not even be called that it may not even be called the same title.
I don't think it is actually. I heard a pronunciation on like one of the videos I watched, and it seemed very like short. But obviously, I don't really know the translation from Korean to this.
Maybe
But
like-
it wasn't like a list of words. It
Maybe
was like
one word it means a bunch of things.
Maybe.
You don't know. You don't speak Korean.
I don't. So
You know who does? Madong.
he does.
And he speaks English. Get him on the line, Schwartz.
Don Lee coming at you. Beep, beep, beep.
I don't think we're going to go any further with that one. So,
All right. I was waiting for one of you guys to pretend to be him, and I was going to talk to him.
hello, this is Don Lee.
If you would have said that, I'd be like, hey, Don, welcome to Make Me Watch Movies. You ruined that one.
Go
My bad.
on.
I fucked up.
You did. All right. So, yeah, that's the plot.
So-
That's what happens.
At this
Lot more
point,
fighting. Lot
you're
more
telling
fighting.
me that the cop and the gangster team up to get the devil.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
it is, and it's a fun.
then
It's
from
a
that
fun
point
plot.
on-
It's a
It's great.
fun little
I
plot
love
point.
it.
It's fun.
From that point on,
This dude kills mad more people, too. That's just cool.
Yeah.
Fucked up ways.
From that point on, there's kind of like some B.
What other
some
ways?
B story with the rival gangster shit going on. That kind of convolutes a little
you
bit.
don't
of the
remember the
plot.
knife getting lost? It like fell off of like a car or something.
Why was the knife on a car?
I
don't know,
I
it
think
felt
that
like-
was just when they got in the fight. Like it went off to the side or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think that was what it was. It like went. In.
And I think they found. I think they got the knife later. I don't think he got it right after the fight.
Maybe that's.
I
it.
think
That sounds
they
right.
brought
That
it
sounds
to
right.
him in
That's
a bag,
right.
and
That
he
sounds right.
he was like they weren't sure, and he just said, "Hold on to that for now."
Yeah,
Told you.
that's it.
Fuck.
That's it. Use it to it.
You told us.
Did you guys watch the same movie?
Yeah, man. The last 30 minutes of this movie was epic.
Right.
The last 30 minutes of this movie was pretty great.
That was
Describe
the
'em.
The car chase and all
I mean,
that.
yeah, it just all comes to a head. Like all this, so there's a lot going on. There's a lot of exposition. This movie's kind of all about the visuals. You know what I mean? There's a lot. They're purposely throwing great visuals at you. They're trying to show you how badass Dom is and how crazy of a cop the other dude is, and how crazy of a killer's dude is. So like when it all starts coming to a head, because there's a lot. Like there's like the first like 20, 25 minutes are really good, and then like the next 20 are kind of like setting a lot of shit up, and then it like ends pretty hard. It ends on a really high
Well,
note.
there's a bit of the cat and
It
mouse
ends in
game
the high note for
of
sure.
the situation where the killer kind of figures out who these guys are,
Yeah.
and starts fucking with him.
You're
Like,
a cop and a
Like,
gangster.
did you see the killer hiding on the bus with the whole girl with the umbrella scene?
Yeah.
So when I was watching it, I looked at the frame and I looked in the bus and he was sitting right there.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, there he is."
Yeah, he's been
and I
watching.
thought to myself, "Damn, dude, that dude just." I wondered how many other times I didn't see that and he was in here. You know what I mean? There's probably at least
Right.
one or two more times
Yeah, he blends
that we
in.
didn't see. That he just blends in.
Because they do that at that dinner scene. That's a little bit more obvious.
But
They
the
kinda
dinner
like-
one was obvious, but that was awesome too. That was one of my favorite. That might have been my favorite scene when they're both in that same room and like he was looking at him and like he might have saw him and then in the end you realize like, oh, he did look back there like and he was gone. That was sick.
When they were eating,
In the house
Yeah.
they were eating. That was
at
sick.
and he
like the
called
food
him, and he was
court,
like, "You got to come here right now." And
Yeah, like and he, the killer definitely saw him.
Yeah.
But you're not sure if he saw the killer. But in the end, he looks exactly where he was. He's not there. Like, damn, he did see him. It was cool.
Because I think he wasn't sure it was him,
Yup.
sort of
Yup.
at that point.
Yeah,
But he's
I
gone.
wasn't
He was
sure.
like-
I was never
knew.
sure.
I knew.
Kind of. He was good at blending in. He was like a hide-in.
But
playing
he
He
loved
did
it,
it, and he did it on
He loved
purpose
it,
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he loved it.
This
Very
movie
Charles
sucked.
Manson-y, this guy, huh? Little Charles Manson-y. Blend, trying to like just be a normal person in the crowd kind of guy.
NP in the sea.
Yep. And P in the C.
Indeed.
Then what happened?
What is Don Lee doing now?
Yeah, so there's some rival gangster shit. There's the that
They
kind
all
of
got
leads
beat
to
up
it.
at one point.
Yeah, it's like
Didn't that happen twice? Like, oh, that was
Yeah,
crazy.
there
The
was
first time it
crazy
happened, I was like,
Russians.
what is going on?
Well,
'Cause it just cuts to like dudes just in like a room just fucking kicking the shit out of each other. I was like, wait, what happened? I was
Well,
like,
I
oh,
think-
they must have went after the other guys.
yeah, his people thought
It
it
was
was,
the
the
other rival
rival
gang.
gangster
Yeah.
that attacked him,
Yeah,
so they
yeah,
sent
yeah.
his dudes in to fuck everyone up.
Yeah, and they did. They just
and they
fucked shit
did. They
up.
fucked everyone up.
Yeah.
And then later, they were looking at like the killer's car because they were able to track down the killer's car, and then that rival gang figured out where the gangster was, the main gangster was, and then they all attacked him. And then there was that other epic fight when it was Russian of a gang, and then the two main characters just beat the shit out of like basically a full gang.
Yeah, that one was insane.
Yeah. Both
They were
those
both
scenes
insane.
were pretty
but
nuts.
That
They
one,
were pretty
that one
cool,
was that one came out of nowhere too.
Cinematography was epic. The way they shot the fight scenes was pretty great.
It's the way they shot a lot of things. There was
Yeah.
one like there was this puddle shot. I can't remember
Yeah,
where
yeah.
in the beginning.
So it's the person, and then it goes down
Yeah.
to the puddle, and you see the reflection.
The reflection
and then
of the
killer
person walks through the
in
puddle.
through the puddle, and it goes. That was
Come on.
sick. Yeah, that was epic.
Come on,
That was really epic.
Give
yeah.
it to me.
I remember that.
Great cinematography.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah.
It was bad. It wasn't ugly.
No, it was not ugly.
It was cool.
Beautiful movie.
Who's your favorite character? Don
Don
Lee.
Lee.
Come on, yeah.
Don Lee, dude.
Don Lee's the best.
Sure, yeah.
I just thought everyone else was kind of just subpar when it came to everything else.
I still like
Really?
the cop.
I thought the killer was great.
The killer
They were
was
all
good,
cool.
but the killer's like, I mean, it's like,
Listen, this was a Don Lee built movie.
Yeah.
Like they were like, yo, you're gonna
He's
the
the
best part.
Schwarzenegger
You're the
of
face.
Korea.
You're, what about Schwarzenegger?
what do you
Like,
mean? Is there another guy bigger and better than Don Lee? Then he's the Schwarzenegger of Korea.
So in America, there's nobody bigger or better than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Not in his day. No,
I mean,
he
in,
was
like,
the
Predator
he was
days,
the
like, yeah, he was-
man.
He was killing the game.
Commando,
Oh yeah, same time.
Come on.
Predator's probably my favorite.
Running
Schwarzenegger
Man,
movie.
which none of you have seen.
I've never seen Running
Seen
Man.
it when I was a little kid. I gotta see it.
Doesn't
again.
matter.
I gotta watch
Did you ever
it
see
again.
Marathon Man? With Dustin
If you
Hoffman?
haven't seen it after
don't think so. I wanna
18,
see
you
that.
haven't seen it.
Pretty much. That's fair.
I
That should be a fair assessment.
We're like 40 years
I
old
want
now.
to see Marathon Man. We're not
If we haven't
40.
seen it as an adult,
Come on.
we haven't seen it. It's a good rule.
Yeah,
What were you saying?
I don't remember.
You want to see
anymore.
Marathon Man?
I want to see Anna. Yeah, and Running Man, but both those men. So I want to see.
Yeah, way
It
different
sounds
movies.
similar though.
They're not.
They're not.
They're not.
No, I mean,
Oh. What
one's
Marathon
about like
is-
Russian terrorists trying to find something
Is that
from
Marathon Man?
from Dustin Hoffman, who's a bicycle rider, and they drill his teeth.
Ooh.
Yeah. You
But
ever-
it's like Dustin Hoffman, like our age.
yeah.
Right?
I mean, maybe he always looks 100.
He's had gray hair since he's been 18.
There's a scene in that movie. Where have you ever heard the line that where they just go, "Is it safe?"
Yeah.
That's from that movie.
Okay.
And then he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." And then they have this guy drill his teeth, just drill holes in his teeth
Jeez.
while he's like just there.
Did you guys ever see Conspiracy Theory?
Running
Richard Donner
Man.
movie?
Didn't we talk about Running Man last time?
I don't remember.
Not,
talked about that
not
last
on,
night. You
not
described
on.
it to me
thing.
last
We
night.
talked about it though.
Yeah.
Running Man. Yeah, Conspiracy Theory is great.
Yeah.
Mel Gibbs. He hates Mel Gibbs.
I know.
The only-
You're crazy.
I like that Mel Gibson movie though.
Let's
One of the few.
let's go back. Like, let's wrap. What happens in the end here?
Yeah, gangster shit. And
Was that elaborate on gangster shit though? Come on, give
Fights.
us a little
Well,
bit
there
more.
was just
two
the rival,
epic fight
there was the rival
scenes.
gangster storyline.
Yeah.
That whole confusion of like who's who kind of led to, and the knife thing led to them using the knife to kill the main rival gangster of our gangster, Ma Dong-suk's rival,
Don Lee.
Don Lee's Don Lee's rival. So
Sorry, I'm sorry, Don.
They used
Mr. Lee.
they used the knife to kill that guy, which convolutes like the story of the cops a little bit, because then they sort of realize like, oh, that's the same weapon this guy's been using to kill all these other people, because the cops are now looking for the serial killer. And at the same time, even though the agreement that they teamed up, the gangster and the cop, there's still a rivalry. Like
The cop's not just gonna let him go.
yeah,
No.
the cop's going to arrest him, put him in jail. He wants to serve his version of justice.
Yes.
And the gangster just wants revenge.
He wants
just
both
to
of
kill
them
this
in
guy.
jail. That's
And
he
what
wants.
was their original team up was? They'll team up, but whoever finds them first gets to do what they want with them. That's
Yeah.
the original deal.
That was kind of the agreement they came to. I don't think that was like the cops' first choice, but
that's
that
what
was
made
kind
Don
of.
Lee fucking say, I'm in. I'm down for this.
And they also were blackmailing the shit out of each other. Too,
I
in the
loved
beginning.
how
It's
Don
just
Lee
like-
and
it's
his
like,
dude-
I have tape of you, and he's like, I got tape of you,
yeah,
and then he like broke that tape, and he's like, I'm also videoing you, idiots.
I love how Don Lee and his dude was being in the police station while they were like doing like planning. I was
Yeah.
like, this is hilarious. These bad guys were just sitting in the police station. They're like, and that's when the two main honchos of each one got in trouble, right? Like the cops. Main
You don't
guy
think
and
they
Don
brought-
Lee's
you don't
main
think
guy
they
were
brought
like, "Fuck
Whitey
you
in?"
guys." Whitey?
Yeah,
Who's Whitey?
Whitey Bulges.
Oh no, I don't think he ever went into the.
He
Into
went
the
in,
building.
talked to him a
Not
little
in the
bit.
building, no.
Was like, listen, you know what they want?
Whitey
Microprocessors.
Bulger was a murderer. They couldn't let him in anywhere. He was killing people.
Yeah, but he was a fucking narc.
Yeah, but they couldn't be seen with him. I feel
They arrest him, bring him in.
I guess yeah.
That's how they did it.
Yeah.
That's how they still do it. I'm getting arrested tomorrow.
That's how they done doing it.
That's what they did to Epstein.
Oh. Don't get Epstein, dude.
I don't want to get Epsteined. How long do you think Giselle has?
40 days, maybe.
40?
Yeah.
Nice. We should take bets.
I don't know how long it's been.
How long it takes until she gets suicided.
Right. Or just gets Epstein. I think that's just what you just can call
Just
it.
gets Epsteined.
I feel like.
Well, I don't know. Epstein did some fucked up shit.
I feel like whatever she told him.
Getting Epstein could mean like getting taken to an island.
True.
I feel like whatever she told him, the people who got told on probably worked something out behind the scenes to where they're like, you're gonna take the fall.
All the people
Well,
that
this
Freddie
is
wants to
gonna
kill,
happen.
they're planning Ghislaine's death.
Well, not even that. I think the thing is that like the things that she told those people that Freddie wants to kill were like, you can say this. This is what you can say. Yeah, you can say this.
You can say this.
That's it.
Just don't say nothing else.
Exactly. So that's how they handled that. I think that's how that's been handled. The problem is those people,
Yeah.
they're not going to stop running the world unless there's a revolution. There's a civil war, and we overtake it, and we take them out, and then would be good. But until that happens,
But then who's gonna run the world?
that's the thing.
It's power vacuum.
That's the thing.
Like the world's fine right now. Don't worry about it.
I wouldn't say the world's fine right now by any means, but when's the world ever really been fine? The world's never really
Jake,
been fine.
do you have an answer for this?
Except everyone just knows it because of the internet.
When has the world been fine?
World's
If
never
you
really been
know
fine, dude.
when the world has been fine,
All the empires of the world.
contact us on Make Me Watch Movies Instagram.
Right before humans crash landed here.
I wish Don Lee would fucking come on here and talk about
You got
movies
it.
with
It's
us.
probably the closest the world has been to fine. Yeah.
Yeah, when
It
the
was-
dinos were running the world.
Homeostasis.
Right.
When the dinosaurs were roaming, that was probably when it was at its peak.
But now who runs the world?
Girls.
That's right.
I thought it was squirrels.
Squirrels.
Oh, Beyonce's a squirrel?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's why she's not an ambi turner. She only goes to the left.
Don't hate her because she's beautiful.
That's a different girl.
Oh, yeah.
Carrie Hilson.
Have you seen the new Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
It was all right.
Damn.
It was fun.
Yes,
Kinda,
there you
it
go, it
wasn't
was fun.
like anything
Thought it was great.
remarkable or...
I'm not going to lie.
Well,
Ghost
were you going
Egon-
into it
Ghost
for
Egon was pretty cool.
remarkability?
Ghost Egon they handled pretty good.
Were you trying? Were you looking at it thinking, I hope this movie's remarkable?
I guess
with
it
Paul
felt,
Rudd.
felt just more like a kid's movie. and so it was kind of like basic, and it was fun, but it wasn't anything like.
I think it was a great kids movie.
So yes,
because the characters, the kid characters, podcast, and his daughter, his granddaughter, they were cool characters.
Cool. And that was his first movie.
Podcast killed it.
He was funny.
Yeah, and the other girl, the main girl, she was great.
How come you hated it?
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it either. Muncher was great.
It was fun.
Slimer's replacement, Muncher, he was really cool.
It was a nostalgia grab, and it was also a kids movie. So.
Bill Murray looks old as fuck.
But it was also like
he's looked old as fuck for 20 years.
It was also like a redemption from. I mean, not even to say that the Ghostbusters with the Girlsbusters was bad.
I never saw, but
I thought it was funny.
Everyone said it sucked.
I saw it. I liked it. I thought it was hilarious.
But it was fun.
But it had nothing to. It's its own standalone thing.
Yeah,
right.
sure.
This one's yeah.
Well, this ties back into the original movie.
Yes,
storyline.
it's great.
It does. Yeah.
I thought it was great.
I mean, obviously, Jason Reitman is Ivan Reitman's son.
Yeah.
He directed the older
it was
one.
It was a fun revisit. That's all I got. Like
this motherfucker.
I
said the same thing. He was acting like it was like blasphemy.
So defensive of it.
This guy loves his Ghostbusters.
It was cool. It was great.
This guy puts it ahead of the second Ghostbusters.
I fucking love Ghostbusters.
This guy ranks
so
it Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters Afterlife, Ghostbusters 2. That's how he ranked it.
Yes.
That's
blasphemy.
Correct. He's blasphemous.
That
Listen to
is
this.
absolutely correct.
You're crazy.
I actually was like realizing like I think I had 1 and 2 mixed up in my head for a really long time.
Dude, the
I think
picture,
so
the
good.
painting's the second one.
Yeah. For some reason I
Peter
thought it was
McNichol.
the other way around, and I think.
Second
I
one's
thought.
great.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
because I
they're both
saw
great.
2 before I saw 1.
Yeah.
Probably because my parents just
The
showed them
the
me.
slime
great.
river.
And
When he
yeah.
goes in the slime river, that was crazy.
So that's 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had them flip flopped in my head. Then I watched,
All right, but this
then I watched
one,
the other
third
day.
best, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
that's fine.
All right, we all agree. We all agree. Top
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 3
Out of the
Ghostbusters.
3 I've seen, it's definitely 3.
And from the looks of what they made and from the box office, there's probably going to be like 2
Oh,
more.
yeah.
There's definitely going to be like 2 more.
Oh, it's coming back.
Yeah.
The kids
are the new Ghostbusters for sure.
It's
But
there, it's
I
set
think
up,
the
it's all
3 of
there.
those guys will be in them for at least 1 or 2 movies,
Yeah.
like hanging out, doing things, helping out in the script, like helping out in the storyline. I think that'll be like 1 or 2 movies of that.
I'll take Paul Rudd.
I'm not even talking about Paul Rudd. I'm
I like
talking about
Paul
fucking
Rudd.
Bill Murray and Ernie Hudson and
Oh.
fucking Dan Aykroyd. I think they'll stick around for.
Or I think Ernie Hudson's going to be in it. I feel like he's just going to be. He looks too good. He looks 40 years old.
He looks awesome. I said
Yeah.
that. Damn, Ernie Hudson looks fucking good.
Black don't crack.
Good guys.
What? I'm not allowed to say that?
I don't know. Making sure you know.
I'm just saying. Black don't crack.
I don't know
Look
what you're
at
allowed
him.
to say anymore. I give up on that. Anyway, I like this movie. So end it. How did it end?
Yeah, so they
How'd it end?
he's around. They're all driving around. They see him driving around. There's a big showdown. There's a big chase sequence, and eventually the gangster catches him. Gangster gets him, ties him up, starts beating the shit out of him.
I thought we were talking about Ghostbusters. Forgot.
But somehow the cop realizes like where they are. They're in some warehouse. And at that time,
car comes
the car
flying.
Oh,
in.
dude.
blasting in.
And that's when I thought the guy was dead. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
damn,
Yeah.
Don's
Well,
dead.
first of all, it was like,
Bye-bye,
this guy's
Don Lee.
dead. He was about to decapitate the motherfucker.
Later,
I
Donnie.
was like, all right, that guy's gone. And then fucking Red comes in with the Daewoo Lanos.
Dude, how sick would it be if you chopped that guy's head off? That would be awesome.
He took way too
He
long.
deserved it.
Took way too long to do it.
He deserved it.
Just so he can get hit by the car.
Yeah. They planned that out. They blocked that out.
Did they block that? Well, they
They
blocked it
definitely
out.
blocked it out.
You had to do some gangster build up.
No, it was great. I am not hating on that. I mean, I wanted it to happen, but
It's
it was
great.
awesome. I thought he was dead.
I was extremely surprised when the car drove in.
Me too.
I was very
Especially
surprised.
when it hit him and he was
Very-
flying, and then
Came
he's
out of
laying
nowhere.
like dead on the ground. I was like, oh shit.
So
Don's
that
dead.
leads us to the cop getting the killer. He gets arrested. Everyone gets arrested, and he's in trial for the murders. And as we go, it's the gangster has to is actually asked to like testify from the police officer, which usually doesn't happen because he has to reveal that the fact that he's a gangster, essentially turning himself in if he.
So whose choice was that?
They agreed.
It was
on
an agreement.
Oh yeah,
It was an
because they
agreement.
had that like kind of flashback. When
Yeah.
did they agree on that? Was that after he got hit by the car?
I think. Yeah, because he was like
Yeah.
super pissed off at him.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they already had the guy in custody, so they had no choice.
This was a flashback. I was like, wow, when did they figure this shit out?
This was after. I remember we talked about.
I know.
That. I was like, it's after that. Yeah, it's
Okay.
after the car. Because obviously a little while passed because he probably was fucked up for a bit.
Copy.
It was the only like survived because he was the only like survived victim of this guy. So he was the only eyewitness.
Yeah.
So because of that, he was able to basically put him away, and to prove it, he had the stab wounds that would match the knife the guy always used, and all this, and it worked. It put him away, and because of that, he agreed. The gangster agreed that all right, I'll testify if you put me in the same prison as this guy.
Yeah.
So justice was served twice over in a sense, where the killer got locked up, the cop got what he wanted, but the gangster still got what he wanted because he got locked away with the dude. And the last scene
How
we
long do
see
you think
is
the gangster's going to jail for, though?
So, this is how it happened.
okay.
There we go.
They're in court, and then there's no way that they can convince anyone that this guy is.
There's
who
no
he says
hard
he is.
evidence.
There's
They don't
no
have
hard
hard
evidence.
evidence that this guy's killed anybody.
Everything's circumstantial.
Yeah.
Nothing can prove it until we got one more witness. Who the fuck is this witness? Holy shit, it's the guy. And they said this guy's basically been in hiding since the thing. He's been gone. Nobody knows where he is. He remember we heard that on the news. Like he's been gone. So he comes in. We're like, shit. Like, what is he doing there? What's he gonna fucking testify? If he testifies, he's gonna fucking go to jail himself. Yeah. He does testify. He proves with a drawing and the stab marks and whatever, which again was still whatever, but still he proves that he is who he says he is. That is the killer. But they're like, fuck. Now he's got to go to jail too.
Yeah, he shows him the stab marks.
Yeah.
He shows him
the drawing that he did.
He shows him the mark on him too, the stab mark on the killer that he says where
matched,
he stabbed him.
Match marks.
And then he showed him the finger, the numbers he wrote, the letter he wrote, and they fucking cross-examined his fingerprint, his handwriting, and they found it matched.
Joey Fry.
Yo,
we're recording a podcast right now.
Oh shit, Joey Bowie.
That's nice. What's happening? What kind of podcast?
Movie podcast. You should check it out. Making me watch movies.
Okay. What movie are you talking about?
The gangster, the cop, the
gangster,
devil.
the cop, and the devil.
Interesting. Have not heard of that movie.
It's Korean.
It's a South Korean crime movie.
I got Schwizzy here.
What's up, Swizzy?
And Jay Golden.
What up?
Oh shit! What up, Jake?
What up, dude?
We should hang out.
Yeah, that's what I was calling for. Seeing what time you guys want to hang.
I don't know. Let's call him back as soon as we finish this. We're finishing this up soon.
All right. Can I call you back in like 20 minutes?
Yeah, totally. Call me back.
All right, bro.
Peace.
All right, peace.
That was Joey Bowie.
So he proves that
Definitely
that's
better
the
looking
killer.
than Freddie.
Wow.
Freddie's got a thing where he thinks he's better looking than Joey, and I tell him he's not.
He's definitely not.
No. Fuck
Anyway.
you, Freddie.
So the thing is, we're at this point we're like, man, he it's crazy that he's given himself up to get this guy put away in jail. Like that's crazy. We didn't think that would happen, and then we see him now he's going to jail. Don Lee going to jail. Fuck, he's going in. Like this is the end of the movie, and then what do we see? We see him looking, and we see him smiling. What's he looking at? What's he smiling at?
The
devil. Motherfucker is in the same jail as
the fucking devil.
As the devil himself. And the look on his eyes. What was he reading? The Bible, too?
I don't know what he was reading.
That's how it happens.
Afraid.
And then, like, we hear all the fucking stupid flashback and shit. But
No. The last thing is he fucking catches him in the shower. Comes in with the rope.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I kept
And he says to him, game over, dude. And he fucking, who knows what he does to him in there.
What
might
did he do?
sodomize him. Who knows?
Oh, cuts the credits.
Yeah, cuts to the credits.
Based on true story, though. So
I mean, they were in the shower. Could have been
find
butthole
out.
shit.
I want to learn more about this, like what this true story actually is, because obviously it's heavily dramatized.
The true story was probably that
what's
there was
there.
a killer who stabbed a gangster. Seriously, think about it. That's a great plot right there. A serial killer who stabs a gangster. That's great. I love that. That's fun.
The plot is based upon a true story. The narrative revolves around three characters: a serial killer, a gangster who was almost the victim of the killer, and the cop who wants to arrest the killer. So that's what I mean. That's what Wikipedia says.
We knew all that.
That's what that. Yeah, we didn't have to.
I think we went over that.
Yeah, we didn't have to. We didn't really have to do any of that. I could have just read that in fucking 40 seconds. Anyway, plot is based on. Here we go. Wikipedia says the plot is based on a true story, and then in the superscript here it says unreliable source.
It's like how Fargo, the TV show, is based on a true story.
Yeah.
Only the people, places, and events have been changed.
Yeah.
That's a great show. I need to still watch the 4th season. The one with Chris Rock. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And,
So everybody gets what they wanted.
to an
Pretty much.
extent, how long you
Except the
think?
killer.
How you think Don Lee's gonna be incarcerated for? You think he's going for a while or what?
I think he is the Whitey Bulger of Korea. They'll let him out.
he's going for a
He's
while.
going. No, I think they're gonna let his ass out.
You think so?
Yeah,
He's a
I think
gangster.
he's a.
If not, he's gonna run shit in there.
Yeah,
for a
he's
while.
he ain't got problems.
They should do a sequel to this movie.
They should.
Just him in
What
jail.
would they call it?
I don't know.
The Devil and Dong Suk. That's actually a dope name.
Just the gangster.
Imagine he kept him alive, and the whole movie's about like the way he tortures him in jail. That'd be pretty crazy.
Just cut like death by 1,000 slices. You ever heard of that?
It's directed by Eli Roth.
Nice. That's sick.
Yeah, that'd be
All
gross.
Korean crew. Just Eli Roth comes in.
Right. Wasn't that
He's like,
how
I'm
he-
here. He's like,
Wasn't that
it's
essentially
fucking-
how he made that like Inferno movie or
For
whatever
sure,
it's
probably,
called?
yeah, wherever he shot that. I think they're in like Brazil or something.
Yeah. In the Amazon for
Yeah.
sure. So yeah, probably Brazil.
Good movie though.
Won-Tae.
This was fun. Fun movie, and I liked Don Lee before this because the couple movies I've seen him in, he's been great in. But this role solidified him as one of my favorite guys going. This was
Big
his best
fan.
role.
Big
Best
D
role.
Lee fan. Big Don Lee fan.
Yeah, I definitely want to see more of his stuff.
Yeah.
There's more stuff out there.
How many movies have we watched with Don Lee in it? 3?
2? What was
We
the
didn't
other one?
watch like he's not in. He wasn't in like any of like The Host or anything.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Not that I recall.
Can you recall a little better?
He's definitely not actually.
He wasn't. In,
you
yeah, he wasn't in.
don't-
I don't think
those.
he's ever been in any John.
He
Woo
wasn't in The
movies.
Handmaiden.
He was.
He was not in The Handmaiden.
No.
That's a Japanese movie.
No, that was a Korean movie with Japanese language spoken throughout because of the conflict between Korea and Japan.
Why do you gotta confuse me?
Yeah, there's Japanese characters and Korean characters. It was made by a Korean director.
In
Chan-wook
Japan.
Park.
Chan-Woo Park, bro.
No, it was in Korea.
Chan-Woo Park, bro.
Yeah, dude. They went to Japan, I think, after in the end. But that's neither here
My
nor
bad.
there. It's
Neither here
actually
nor there.
only there,
Neither here, just there.
not here.
Whatever.
Whatever. Anywho,
Watch the movie.
he was in Train to Busan, and that's
Watch the
only other
movie.
one we
It's a great
saw, I
movie.
think.
Check it out. I bought it. It was only $3.
It was
more to
just
buy.
a question.
Yep.
Oh, where you rank it? We gotta rank it. We gotta rank it.
We gotta do blind ranks again, or should we get?
I'm
a,
always blind ranking.
All right.
Should I go first?
Oh, I like
Sure.
how you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Don't think about it.
You
just
went
find it.
you went through the Rolodex and your
Yeah.
brain just now like Neo learned
All right,
how
Anthony,
to
where you
fly.
ranking it?
16.
Ooh, that's high. I like it.
I like this movie.
It was good. I'm gonna go 34.
Okay. Going to 26.
All right. All
Wow.
right. That's gonna be a good ranking on the overall list.
Probably.
Cool.
16, 34, and 30,
26.
26. Is that what it was?
Hut hike.
Great.
You know what? 30. I'm gonna go 30.
Nice.
I'm gonna go
Great.
30.
Bumping
Bring
her
it
up.
up. You know what?
30.
I'm gonna go 20.
Ooh.
Dropping it down.
All right. I'll go 32. Drop it a
No.
little
Keep
further
it
down.
keep it at 30. I'll go to 20. He's at 25.
I'm gonna go 28. Now.
I'm going
Damn.
21.
20. I'm gonna look and re-rank.
21.
But I'll be sure to
No, I feel like I like the
properly
way we felt our way to it. Like I feel a lot better about 21 than I do about 15.
I know I changed my Rover a little bit down after I looked at my list.
Yeah.
Like you put it
Yeah, because
further away from the top or closer to the top?
just a little bit below. Because it was.
What do you have it at?
I think I put it right above They Live, and I gotta say They Live I like more.
Okay.
And then I put it like a couple spots under that. It was like 30. I think I had it at 32, and I put it at like 34 or something like that. It doesn't really matter.
Jake, you have the Rover at 34.
Boom. What are we at? 84 movies right now?
We are at 84. Yeah, this will be our 84th
Sweet.
Poopcast.
All right. Good.
Wicked.
Killing it.
Shout out to the big cat.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Ed.
What up, Ed?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go get some Korean food. Hey, very fitting.
Yeah.
Last time I saw Ed, we were eating Korean barbecue.
All right.
And now we're talking about a Korean movie.
Whoa.
You don't see the connection?
I mean, the obvious connection of Korean.
The food. Oh, yes, the Korean.
stuff.
Soju.
Yeah.
All right, so Anthony, what are we watching next week?
Tremors.
And Tremors 2.
And maybe the very last one.
No, let's just do the first two.
I like Tremors 2 is dope.
Yeah.
We just
I
watched
think
like
that'd be
40
the-
minutes
But
of
That'd
it.
be the way
I
to go.
think it would be interesting to watch the very last one made in 2020
Fine.
just to compare.
I
Just to
don't know when we're
compare.
gonna be able
Just
do
to
this,
compare.
though.
Oh.
We don't have to discuss story. Let's just compare like what it looks like.
I saw a little bit of it. It looks terrible.
They're insane.
Anything after 2 has been fucking. I mean, 2 is even ridiculous,
Listen,
but
I love all
anything
of them,
after
but
2 has just been like kind of fucking whack.
2's not ridiculous. 2's cool.
2's pretty ridiculous, but it's great. It was. I think I saw 2 before 1. It was in one of those situations.
Why
as
do
a
you do
child.
that?
I don't know. It's probably my
You
parents.
not do that anymore?
Bad parenting.
You just can you just watch one.
bad
can you watch
Sorry,
in
bad
order?
bad movie parenting.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
She
It's like I
was
don't know
a
the difference
harbor
between a lot of
chick.
movies like of my youth of like when I know I'm like I never knew what Die Hard movie I was watching. I don't know what fucking Ghostbusters movies I was watching.
I saw Die Hard 3 first. I saw Back to the Future 3 first, and I saw Lethal Weapon 3 first.
Yeah, I probably saw Back to the Future 2 first. What's the best?
I remember not liking that one.
It's the best one.
That's debatable.
We've debated it. Check out episode 7.
We did debate it.
That's all.
Cool. Shout out to Ed.